Oh, good day. It looks like we're live. I've got a green light and good internet. That's a good day. We're going to go ahead and get started in this class about 7 minutes or so. This is comeback yoga, level two class, and we'll get started here shortly. So just get yourself comfortable, or if you need to finish up any chores, go ahead and do so, and we'll get started moving and breathing. And well, hopefully you are breathing right now, but we'll get going with this class in about 7 minutes. All right. In the meantime, I have a little reading I'd like to share with you. This is actually on humor. Like a sudden bolt of lightning, a shot of humor can pierce the veil of automatic, mundane consciousness and charge the moment with and energy. Laughter lifts our spirits and restores our vitality. Humor is often the result of looking at painful situations from a place of detachment. Since, as the Buddha tells us, life is suffering, there are plenty of opportunities for humor. We suffer because we lose. We lose respect, we lose companions, we lose possessions, titles, health, wealth, and ultimately life itself. Grief is the feeling associated with loss. Originally, our word grief meant heavy. If we are not careful, we can become heavy, weighed down, or depressed by the grief that attends every life. More than anything, grief has the capacity to separate or unite us. Humor lifts us above the isolation of our individual grief and reminds us that pain is something we share with all sentient beings. Zen invites us into the cosmic joke of existence, reminding us how silly we are to seek permanence in impermanence, how foolish to seek in the outside world that which resides within. In doing so, it helps us to keep a perspective on our personal dramas and to not take them too seriously. If, as someone once said, in jest, the best cure for hypochondria is to become interested in someone else, and the best cure for self importance is to see ourselves as others see us. We are all a little ridiculous, and all the more so when we forget it. So that's just a little food for thought today. All right, I've got top of the hour. We're going to go ahead and get this party started. No, for real. This is a yoga class. This is a level 2 comeback yoga class. We are a nonprofit organization based out of Denver, Colorado, and we serve veterans, active duty military, and your support team. However, with this online platform, we are here 24 hours a day to anyone, really, anywhere in the world, and wherever, whatever state of mind you're in, we are here to support you and yours. My name is Tonya, and this level 2 class, we're going to be doing a little bit of upper body strengthening, along with some standing poses. We'll be here for about 45 or 50 minutes. And if you have a yoga mat or an exercise mat, and could place it in the same orientation as mine. That way, when we mirror each other, then we're mirroring, and I'll be referring to this side of the room as the window and this side of the room as the plants. So I hope that you are well today and you're ready to get this level 2 class started. If you are brand new, never have done yoga before, um, take it easy, do what you can, maybe even consider another class here on the platform. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get started. And if you feel at any time, no matter where you're at, what level you're at, that it's too much or too little, you want to make it more challenging for yourself, or you need to back off and take a break, you can do so. And the benefit too of this platform is that you can pause, you can fast forward, you can rewind, you can do all of that to accommodate your own needs. So I welcome each and every one of you. And we're going to go ahead and get started on our back on the mat. So lying down comfortably. Uh, of course, if lying down is not comfortable for you, then take a or an assume a different position. Just feeling the surface beneath you. We're going to start off by just drawing our attention and awareness to our breath. So you can bring your attention initially to your nose or your mouth and feel the air passing in and noticing the temperature and out, noticing the temperature as it leaves. You might even sense either the dryness or the humidity of that air as it comes in and out. So, taking 3 more breaths, and all the while, I'd like for you to now consider how your breath moves in your torso and consider all dimensions of it, possibly even placing your hands on your ribs with the thumb towards the floor and the fingertips wrapping around the front and the sides. 2 more breaths, seeing if that air moves into the hands, into those ribs, front, sides, and back. And if not, over the next 2 breaths, if it doesn't move there, see if you can place it there a little bit more effortlessly or intentionally. And last one. Good. Right. And bringing your arms now down to your sides. If you're lying down with me, let's walk the feet about hip distance apart and the knees bent. I'll start by moving the arms up towards the ceiling and lowering them down towards the floor. Lifting the arms up. Maybe your arms go out wide or they go narrow and then lowering down. Maybe your arms come all the way next to your ears without pain or impingement and then back down. Let's do 3 more. Just kind of noticing anything that's arising, tracking sensations in those shoulders and stopping when maybe there's any sharp pain. Sometimes that means not going as far as you think you should. Okay, now bring those arms down next to your sides, and we'll start to lift the hips up a little bit, and then a lot, and then lower down. And let's do 3 more times like that. All the while, push down into your hands and your arms. We'll do 3 more like this. And then the next time you lift your hips, bring your arms up as well. So the arms coming up, hips coming up, and then the arms coming down and the hips coming down. 2 more times. You can slow it down just a little bit so that we can become a little bit more aware of sensation and tracking that sensation. One more time. Good. Pause. And then bring both knees into your chest. Straighten your legs and arms up to the ceiling. And then bend your knees and lower your arms down next to your sides, maybe touching the floor. Stretch your arms and legs up to the ceiling and then bend your knees. And let's do 3 more. Reach up with the arms and legs and then lower down, maybe even lifting your hips as your arms come down. 2 and 1. And hug both knees in, maybe back of the legs or the fronts of the shins. And roll to your side and press up. We'll come to a kneeling position now with those hands just under the shoulders, maybe even slightly in front, knees about under the hips. Come forward so that the shoulders come a little bit past the wrists, and then bend your elbows straight back. Push into the hands, straighten up, and move your hips towards your heels. If you feel like you need to adjust the hands a little bit, do so. Let's come forward again. Bend the elbows, come down, and back up. For 3 more. Two more. And last one. And now we're going to come all the way back towards or to the heels, softening the elbows and releasing your head to the floor. Coming back up to tabletop and placing one hand more or less in the middle of the mat. Taking your other arm, squeezing that elbow up towards the ceiling, and then stretch up. So you might be facing me now. And then circle your hand, your wrist, and circle the other way. We'll take that same arm now, stretch it up to the ceiling, and thread it underneath your opposite arm. Can adjust your top arm now, maybe even wrapping it up to the ceiling and behind your back. Unwind. Come on back to tabletop. And I'll show this from the front. So, placing your other hand more or less under, just right in the middle there, but kind of underneath your head, really. Taking your elbow, bending it, squeezing those shoulder blades as you turn. So your shoulders are more or less stacked. Open up the arm, palm facing to the wall in front of you. And now take that arm under, threading the needle. And now that top arm can come up and around for a little shoulder stretch. And release that. Coming into child's pose with the arms going forward. The toes may be touching or closer together with the knees out wider. If you notice any pain here, maybe don't go as low. Sometimes the pain can come in the ankles or the knees or the hips or all of the above. So, sharp pain should be treated with kit gloves. All right. And now coming back up to a tabletop and send one leg out to the side. And we're going to twist up again towards the ceiling, circling that wrist. And then circling your arm 3 times. And then coming down and changing legs. Other leg going out to the side, taking that arm up and circling your wrist. And then circling your arm, going just in the range of motion that supports growth, stretches, maybe some sensation. All right, and then come on down. All right, take your hands shoulder distance and moving the hips back, tuck your toes under and lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Good morning or afternoon. Saying hello to those shoulders, those legs. And now walk your feet up towards your hands. Grab opposite elbows and just sway side to side here. I like to start out with quite a big bend in my knees. So I invite you to try that. It takes some of that pressure off of the back and can just feel supported with the weight of your own body. And then release the hands. Bending the knees, lower the hips, slowly lift your head, torso, and come upright to stand. Taking those arms out and mountain pose. You can face the screen if you like, or face the short edge of your mat. Mountain pose, we're standing at ease, the feet approximately hip distance. So we really feel the bottom of our feet pressing down into the ground, pressing down into the mat, the floor. We start to feel our body sort of ignite or enliven or electrify, whatever maybe comes to that felt sense for you. So start to notice the legs, maybe even your hips now, your bottom, your front. Noticing the fingertips, even the palms of the hands, the lower arms, the upper arms, the shoulders. Now, Gaze is forward and palms forward. We're going to lift up onto the toes as you bring those arms up overhead and then lower down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, arms lift, heels lift. Exhale, lower heels, lower arms. Last one. All right, so again, facing me, we'll bring the arms up. And this time we're going to bend the knees back and then sweep your arms back. And hold those arms back. You're going to pulse the arms up, up, up. Pause. And now bring the arms forward and up. Bring the palms together, press, and hands come to the heart. I'll repeat that with a little variation. So bringing the arms to your sides, palms facing forward. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, drop those hips back, bend the knees, and then sweep the arms back. Pulse up, up, up. All right, now sweep the arms forward and then open up towards the window. So pressing that forearm or the wrist onto that outer knee as you turn towards the window. Coming back through center, arms forward, palms forward, and let's twist towards the plants. See how my knees are staying separate? You can have that practice. Otherwise, bring the knees together and turn. So you're tipping forward as you turn. And then coming back to center, arms forward, stay low on those legs, I know. And now sweep the arms back, straighten out the legs, turn your palms to the ceiling, and place your hands on the small of your back. Nodding your head, looking forward, and then looking down and back. Looking forward towards your toes, and then tucking your chin, looking towards your knees. And then release your arms down to the floor. Bend your knees and come all the way up to stand. Stretch those arms up to the ceiling, pressing the palms together and hands coming to the heart. Again, now facing the long edge of your mat, stepping your feet out wide. Bringing your arms out into a T position, turning your leg out towards the window and bending into warrior two. So getting nice and long in those arms, feeling the legs, maybe tingling, maybe efforting, maybe also finding the ease. All right, now placing your hand onto your thigh, stretching your arm overhead. Keeping your hand on your thigh, you're going to lift your back heel and turn now. So keeping that arm reaching forward. And take your arm, sweep it back behind you now towards your foot. Maybe your hand that's on your leg comes behind you now too. So having this warrior, airplane warrior. All right, good. Take it down to the ground and step back into downward dog. Coming to a high plank or low plank with the knees down. Push down into the floor with those hands, feeling the body enliven and finding your breath. With your next exhale, slowly take those elbows back as you come halfway down, a little tricep push-up. Push back up to that plank, a little tricep push up, bending the elbows, push, and then this next one will come all the way down to the ground. Taking the arms and legs away from the earth, lifting your torso for a locust pose. Keeping your torso lifted, bring the hands under the shoulders and lifting up for cobra or lifting your legs for an upward dog as you straighten out the arms. Pressing back to a child's pose, arms straightening, hips towards the heels. Pressing up and back, downward facing dog. Looking forward, bend your knees and walk or hop to meet your hands. Coming into a forward fold. Bending your knees, arms forward. We'll add our twist here, twisting towards the camera, tipping forward. So I'm not folding here like so. That's going to strain maybe the back. So we're finding an even amount of effort, front and back, coming back into the chair and then twisting away. Looking down maybe at your knees or to the wall to your side. And then coming back through center, we'll come all the way up. Reach up. Maybe lean back a little bit. If you'd like, come up onto the toes, lifting the heels. Lowering the heels and bringing the hands to the heart. All right, stepping out wide. We'll take our standing sequence to the other side. So legs out wide, open out those arms. Turn your leg out towards the plants. Bend your knee. Look past your fingertips. Anchor your feet down firmly. Taking your hand to your lap and your other arm next to your ear. Gonna reach long. Push down into that front foot. Open up the sides. We're going to keep the hand on the leg. Lift your back heel and turn towards the plant. Keeping that back heel lifted. Stretch your arm back behind you and your other arm can meet it, reaching both arms back. And now extending longer through the spine, reaching out through the heel. And placing those hands down, downward facing dog. Coming to that high plank or low plank. Let's do 3 tricep push-ups, bending. Use your legs. Press up. 2, press up. 3, press up. And then come all the way down. Locust. The legs go long, lifting the toes. Send those arms back like airplane arms. This time we're just going to lower down and turn the head to the side, looking maybe at the screen. Coming to center, turn your head to the other side. And then coming back to center, bringing those hands behind the shoulders, pressing up and back into child's pose. Coming on up, downward facing dog. Looking at your hands, bending the knees and hopping or stepping forward into fold. We'll repeat the standing sequence one more time, this time without the break in between. So bending the knees, maybe feet and knees touching this time, coming into chair, twisting towards the screen, coming back to chair, twisting away, and coming back. We'll add something here. Arms reach back, lift the heels, lower the heels, and rise all the way up to stand. Palms together, hands to heart. Okay, so facing the screen. We're going to start with the leg towards the plants, and then we'll go to the other leg, and then we'll do our downward dog, plank, and cobra sequence. So turning the leg out towards the plant, open the arms, and bend. Hand coming to thigh, arm alongside the ear. So you're getting really long. You could even move your hips back slightly towards that back foot. So you're going to keep that long, lift the heel, and rotate, squaring up the hips. Push down, probably warmer now. Bring one or both arms back. All right, so we're coming up into crescent. And then lower the arms, turn and face me. All right, second side, leg turns towards the window. Bend your knee. Side angle with variation here. So you're pushing into your leg as the arm reaches up. Keep the hand on the leg, lift your heel. So your hand's there for stability. I'll take your arms back, one or both. Crescent lunge, arms rise. Hand to your thigh, press up and face the front. And we'll add a fold here. Turn the toes forward and fold over your legs. All right, walk to the short edge of your mat and come into downward dog. Coming to your plank pose, and we'll just do one push up here, one up, and then all the way down for that locust. Arms reach back, toes reach back, and then turn your head as you lower down. Taking 3 deep breaths here with your head turned to the side. And turn your head to the other side. 3 deep breaths. We're going to cool down now here with some stretches. So let's start here, the little quieter child's pose. Softening. This feels comfortable for you. You can also come onto your back instead. We'll take 2 more breaths. All right, we're going to do pigeon pose today. So coming up, and you can press up to downward dog, and we'll take one leg forward, knee coming towards the wrist, down to the floor with the shin at a diagonal and your foot pointing back. We'll just come upright for maybe 2 more breaths. And then coming down, all the way down into cobra. And pressing up and back, downward facing dog. And bringing your other knee forward, tracking sensation on that knee. And then we'll come upright a bit, even track the back knee. Sometimes I like to pad my knee there and come down or stay upright. And press up and back, downward dog. And then coming down onto the mat with the legs either straight forward or to a V, whatever's the most comfortable in your body. And you can lift the hips up a little bit and kind of shake it out and come back down. Just a gentle pressure down onto the fingertips, onto the floor, and sitting up tall. If you want, or could take a little bit more sensation, then come forward a little bit. Just kind of stay present in your body's wisdom, your awareness with the breath, any sensations going on, maybe in your lower legs, your upper legs, and even your back. And coming on upright across your ankles, and you can face the front if you aren't already, and take one arm out, turn the thumb down. Wrap that arm either to the small of your back or across the waist. You can kind of hook the elbow or hook or clasp the hands. And we'll take the opposite shoulder and ear, really more the ear towards the shoulder. And release that. Take that same arm palm up and bring it across your chest and either hook the forearm or the elbow or just hold on to the shoulder and then turn your head towards that shoulder. And release. Roll the shoulders a couple of times back and down. And then you want to make sure that the shoulder is back. As you take the arm out, turn your thumb down, and then wrap it around behind your back. And maybe clasp the hand, bringing that hand forward and taking your opposite ear to the shoulder, towards the shoulder. I don't know if you could actually get it to the shoulder, and that might not be so good. And slowly unraveling that, turn your palm up and bring your arm across. Just tracking sensation. And then looking to that shoulder. Kind of maybe even bringing your arm across a little bit, your torso twisting a little bit. And then coming back to center. Take a moment, one hand under the armpit, the other hand on the shoulder, and pause, breathe, be present. This is a technique that you can use to kind of calm nerves, settle you down. Even bring one hand to the side of your neck. And then release. We're going to move now into our final relaxation meditation. So you can stay sitting if you like. I will be staying sitting, or you can come down onto the mat. You could also be walking around the room if that is better for you right now. So get yourself comfortable in a position that you can sustain for approximately 5 minutes while I guide you through a relaxation practice. I'll be inviting you to breath sensing and body sensing. So once you get comfortable or aware, become aware of the surface beneath you, the way that your body comes in contact with that surface. And the parts of you that you notice that are actually touching that surface. If it helps to wiggle your body parts that are touching, feel the texture of the surface. And now bring your attention to your breath as it comes in through either your nose or your mouth and back out. Noticing the warmth or the coolness of it as it enters your body and as it leaves your body. And noticing the dryness or the moistness of your breath. And noticing as your breath comes in, the movement of your chest, your side ribs, and your back ribs. And as your breath comes out or leaves your body, the same movements, drawing inward, receding, noting the expansion of your torso, your ribs, and notice the recession or the receding. And now noticing inside of your mouth, your eyelids, inside of the ears, the top of the head, the back of your head, your neck, your throat, your chest, your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists, your hands, your fingers, your abdomen, your back, the hips, the knees, the ankles, your feet, and your toes. Connecting and feeling integrated as a whole. In this moment, everything is integrated and whole. Feeling the life force moving through you as you are aware of your body, being absolutely present to this moment. Begin to return to the sound of my voice, picking up on any sounds in the room. And again, noticing the surface beneath you, the texture, the temperature, Picking up on anything you might notice as you start to bring your senses online again, being aware of maybe colors or lights or textures in your surroundings, and finding some gentle movements, maybe in the wrists, the head, the neck, whatever calls to you. Maybe there's some twisting, knees to chest, or if you are standing, maybe you'd like to have a seat. And now we'll go ahead and bring ourselves up to a sitting position or whatever is more comfortable for you. You could also stay right where you are. And I just want to thank you all so much for being present today, for being here, and for supporting Comeback Yoga just by being who you are and being part of our community. If you have not subscribed to Comeback Yoga's YouTube channel, you can do so now. And we'd love to hear from you. You can pick up the phone, send us an email, or drop us a line here in the YouTube. So I hope that you found some benefits from today's session, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.